welcome to Lunchtime Politics on Channels Television. I'm Kairo Pikilu here in Lagos, and these are the big political stories making the rounds at this hour. Well, Rivers State High Court's reported to have ruled that Governor Siminalayi Fubara is legally empowered to transact business with the three lawmakers led by Victor Okojumbo. The big question is, does this put an end to the demand for the budgets to be represented to the Martin Amiwole-led Assembly? The former Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai denies leaving the APC for the People's Democratic Party, PDP, describes the reports as patent lies, as he says he's pursuing legal options. Well, Rivers politics is first, as the Port Harcourt division of the Rivers State High Court is said to have ruled that the state governor, Siminalayi Fubara, is legally empowered to transact business with three lawmakers who have not vacated their seat in the State House of Assembly. Well, this was contained in a court decision given on December the 20th, during which presiding Judge Sika Aprioku dismissed a suit seeking to compel the governor to represent the 2024 budget to the Martin Amiwole-led Assembly. The said suit, marked PHC 3552 CS 2024, was filed by the registered trustees of the Association of Legislative Drafting and Advocacy Practitioners and had the government of Rivers State, Governor of Rivers State, and Attorney General of the state as defendants. Well, it sought to compel the governor in that particular suit to essentially represent the 2024 budget to the 27 lawmakers led by Amiwole for passage into law. And after considering the argument from the different councils, presiding Judge Aprioku ruled that Governor Fubara can transact business with the members who did not vacate their seat. Well, the Rivers State House of Assembly, led by Martin Amiwole, had frowned upon the presentation of a 2025 appropriation bill by Governor Fubara to the three-member assembly led by Victor Okojumbo, who are loyal to him, and asked that he represented before them. While the political situation in Rivers continues to unfold, let's tell you that former Governor of Kaduna State, Nasir El-Rufai, has debunked rumors that he has left the ruling All Progressives Congress APC and decamped to the opposition People's Democratic Party, the PDP. A close aide to the former governor told Channels Television that the rumor is the handiwork of mischief makers, noting that Mr. El-Rufai, being a prominent political figure, could not have decamped to PDP without making it public. While also reacting to the rumor on his verified X handle, the former governor, Mr. El-Rufai, asked the public to disregard the rumors and what he described as patent lies about his political affiliation. He also said that he has referred the lead peddlers of fake news to his lawyers for legal action. Well, let's head over to Edo State now. And the political situation in Edo State has been heating up over the past few months, right after the victory of Senator Monday Okwebolo as governor. Well, the latest twist in this particular one is, well, of course, the APC state government assembly and the suspension of PDP local council chairman. Recall that the Edo State House of Assembly early December had passed a resolution suspending chairman and vice chairman of the 18 local government councils for 2 months. Well, the House also mandated the leaders of legislative arms to take over leadership of their respective councils. Of course, the chairman didn't take this sitting. In fact, a court case was instituted, and the court sitting in Bini ordered the restoration of the suspended chairman and vice chairman of the 18 local councils. But what we're seeing now is some of the councillors now moving to impeach this chairman. So what exactly is playing out in Edo State? Let's give you some update, particularly because Monday is a day of resumption across board. So what is the political situation like? We're joined on the program by a former special advisor to the former governor of Edo State, Mr. Shedrack Udugbai, joins us virtually, as well as APC member of the Edo Local Government Administrative Panel of Inquiry, Mr. Kasim Afegba, also join us virtually. Gentlemen, welcome to Lunchtime Politics.
Thank you.
Let me just begin right away with Mr. Odubai and ask you, Monday is meant to be a day of resumption. So do you know if some of the chairmen that were suspended by the State Assembly are going to be resuming to work? Because a lot of them said they're not going to take it.
Many of the chairmen have been relatively very frightened. Many of them have been threatened. They've been outrightly brutalized out of office. We saw what happened on the 2nd of January when the APC led talks undercover with the state government police and some security agencies, and they shot sporadically at one of the local government chairman, leaving so many persons injured. And then we've seen the open desperation of the All Progressive Congress to flagrantly disregard court orders and court injunctions, obeying instructions to reinstate chairman back to office. See the desperation for the battle of the soul of the control of the local government. And even despite the fact that the suspension has been described as an attack on the frontiers of democracy against the autonomy instituted by the Tinubu-led administration, against all advice, they've now had to go through the back door of wanting to mobilize some councillors to dubiously impeach the chairman out of office. So for now, nobody has been, chairmen are frightened, they've not been able to go back to their places office. Many of these offices are under lock and key. Many of these local governments are still under the oppression of thugs because the Edo State government have consistently mobilized thugs across the 18 local government to barricade most of these local government centers, preventing local government council chairmen from accessing. So what happened in Oredo, so what happened in Boaka and in Eko, where they've been desperate enough, no one, the might have not resumed. So, and then even the civil servants, the local government staffs who work in these local governments have still not resumed for the fear of their life and their safety. Because many of their colleagues in other local governments are currently receiving treatment in Osala, where they are trying to extract bullets out of themselves, or many of them will sustain bullet wounds. And then for us, it's a sorry state that the All Progressive Congress in Edo State have decided to truncate the autonomy being instituted by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and then practically annihilating the last tier of government where people can have recourse to, and then the immediate government that people can reach out to engage in their correspondence. So for us in Edo State, it's a sorry story. And then the All Progressive Congress has now withdrawn his dubious activity in impeaching chairmen. Some of them have been put into submission to truncate and to move into the All Progressive Congress. Because the desperation is to completely annihilate the People's Democratic Party and all the office holders, irrespective of party affiliations. And then for me, we're here, and then we are hoping that this time, the court will give this judgment to reinstate Aso Ekudalo, and all of these political shenanigans will be brought to an end, and then those states can have a heave of relief. Because this All Progressive Congress can be best described when the Bible says the enemy came to kill, to steal, and to destroy. They categorically describe this model people-led government because they brought nothing more than destruction, anarchy, and chaos to Edo people. So, and then against all others.
Mr. Odubai, right, let's take this to Mr. Febua. Quite strong words used there by Mr. Odubai. Mr. Febua, I mean, you're not new to this. I know that you had described the move by the State Assembly as the right move forward, but then I think that was before the High Court in Benin ordered the restoration of a suspended chairman and vice chairman. So do you still hold that position in the face of, one, what the Attorney General, member of your party, said, and then the court ruling?
Well, I don't know what court you are talking about. I'm happy I have the PDP mass for complaining and commenting. I'm happy to hear them because when they were in power in the news office, they have used them and the same people the expected I don't forget that only 4 members of the past, the and the other I'm still not down, but if they are not the one to press, that is what we say are very clear and true. But there are no governments in the and there's still one government led by Senator Mahmoud Kwame. If you are not on the election, we are going to
this was kind of generated.
Mr. Fegwa, pardon me to butt in quickly here. It's been quite a challenge getting your audio through. It's not really as clear as it should be. So perhaps just try to fix some things here and there and come back to you in a moment. But please, I'll get you to respond yet again from the start so we can get value of your response. But let me go back to Mr. Odugwai quickly and speak to now what we're seeing at the councils, particularly with the councillors, the impeachment move. Well, some will say that is legal in itself. The councillors are empowered by law to go through that process and decide whether they want to impeach a chairman or otherwise. So what is illegal about that for you?
Constitutionally, it is under the provision of the law for councillors to legitimately impeach their chairman and vice chairman if found wanting. Maybe perhaps there are allegations against them. What we have in Edo State is the All Progressive Congress, the leaders and those in government forcefully kidnapping councillors. Many of them have been shot at gunpoint, go into the house and to erroneously carry out the kangaroo. What we have is that we've seen local government chairman be impeached by 2 councillors out of 12, 1 councillor out of 10. And then receive them, for everybody who is responsible enough to understand the tenets of democracy should know that impeachment is a process. It starts off with a petition, a panel of inquiry is set up, the man is being called to see the basis of the allegation against him, and then there's a series of process. But what we've seen at the All Progressive Congress, we gather these disgruntled councillors to the legislative chamber under the cover of security, state police and soldiers, and then they will get one rickety mess from Igu Street or from one of the universities close by. They will put it there, and they will come to say, oh, we've impeached the leader of the house. We are putting in a new leader because that leader automatically becomes the chairman. And they've reduced the whole process of impeachment of local government chairman to a 5-minute event. And after they forcefully impeach the chairman under the kangaroo arrangement, they quickly take these councillors to government house where they stand side by side with Monte Okpebolo, and they begin to snap pictures and brand themselves as this now the new chairman of the local government. For us, nothing can be more erroneous than that. We see this outright desperation, this law for lawlessness, this wanting to hoodwink and desperately attack people, attack the institutions to ensure that nothing is left. For us, it's just a desperate control of the resources of Edo State. The All Progressive Congress eternally wants to just hold the local government by the jugular, forcefully take possessions. There is nothing legal about the whole arrangement. And then they be giving institutions that say, oh, it's not the PDP that is, it's not the PDP councillors that are sacking the PDP chairman. We all know where this thing started from. It started from the letter that Monday Okpebolo wrote to the State of Assembly complaining of insubordination, that the government chairman refused to give their statement of account in 14 hours. And you and I know that under the autonomy, the unit autonomy by the federal government and the Supreme Court, that the local governments are not appendages of the state government. The local government are autonomous. They have political and financial autonomy to decide what to do with their resources. And our local government House of Assembly, erroneously, without due recourse to the provisions of the law, suspended the chairman, the local government chairman. What was the allegation? They said 51 local government chairman misappropriated 50 million. I begin to wonder, is it all the local government chairman that misappropriated the 50 million? And yet, for one chairman, you sacked the 50. And even after that, we got the Attorney General of the Federation came and spoke openly. He described that suspension as inconsequential. He described it as null and void. He would describe it as an attack on the tenets of democracy and the fundamentals of good governance and the doctrine of separation of power.
Okay.
And told them that only the councillors has what it takes.
All right. Just a moment. Let's try to get back to Mr. Fegwa. I really hope that the audio has been resolved now. Well, Mr. Fegwa, quite a lot of things to respond to. But first, I didn't quite get your response to the court order. I was referring to the court order that essentially ordered the restoration of the suspended chairman. In fact, let me just take a quote from that particular court order. It says that the defendants by themselves, privies and all of that, let me just get the right part. Okay, just a moment, Mr. Fegwa. Just trying to get the quote of that particular judgment, which was given in the case between the local government chairman and the Edo State government, the governor of Edo State, and the rest. But basically, you were saying that they are stopped from suspending, removing, or dealing in any way with the democratically elected and appointed officials and staff in the administration and management of the councils. And I imagine that you've seen that particular order on the 16th of December 2024. So that's the particular one I was referring to. Mr. Fegbo, over to you now.
Thank you very much. I think, I hope you can hear me now.
It's much better now.
Okay. Thank you for your question. I've listened to your other guests from the other side, talking about illegalities and what have you. What has happened at the local government level is purely on the basis of law and not illegality. The same people who are crying foul now ran this state in a very lawless manner, and heaven did not fall. They boasted to us 14 members of assembly were never elected. As we speak now, PDP state in Rivers are using 4 members of state assembly to preside over the state, and so many other irregularities and illegalities. And so when they see a semblance, of what they did before, they will say, they will cry foul. They will think that we are becoming like them. We are not going to behave like them. As we speak, in line with law, the Edo State Local Government Act of 2000, Section 20, the governor followed the process to do a suspension, which is not the same thing as removal. 2 months suspension to allow the state to look into the finances of the state. We're not talking about autonomy, national autonomy. The state government is not touching their resources. The state government is not spending their money, but the state government is stopping them from frivolous expenditure to the point that every month the 18 local government chairman will contribute 800 million naira to only God knows where. They call it environmental security. And we needed to stop that profligacy. We needed to stop those kind of excess luggage and baggages in terms of finances and what have you. And so the Supreme Court judgment on financial autonomy also recognizes the role of state assembly as provided for in the relevant provisions of the Constitution of Nigeria to make laws for administration, for finances, for structure at the local government level. And so, in line with that, in carrying out an oversight function over the local government, they have the right, to carry out what they have done. And they have to do that in consultation with the governor or the government in consultation with the assembly. And the councillors, he says, that are impeaching the chairman are members of PDP. They are not members of APC. They are members of PDP. So at the local government level, they are all PDP, 100% PDP. So why are they crying foul? But we must look into those finances, because financial autonomy does not also preclude us from not looking into the finances. We are not touching their money. Autonomy is guaranteed in this state, but for God's sake, when you are presiding over public money, you must be ready to submit yourself to public accountability, probity, and transparency in your conduct. We've received documents from them now as we speak. And my brother, if you see the kind of profligacy, some kind of SSCs, if you see the kind of money being wasted on frivolous issues, you will marvel. I don't think this was a thinking in the minds of Mr. President to even ask for financial autonomy for the state, for the local government.
Can you give us an instance of the profligacy?
Autonomy meant was that instead of running a joint account, excuse me, let me finish this stream of thought. Instead of running a joint account with the state governors, that the local government should have direct allocation from the federation account, and in that way, the judgment does not stop the state government or the assembly from carrying out oversight function in the management of those resources.
All right.
So we haven't done anything illegal.
All right. So, Mr. Fegbo, can you give us an instance
impeachment is not
of the
right
said
in their eye, they can go to court and seek redress.
That you speak about? Can you give us an instance of that said profligacy which you talk about?
Well, because our committee is still working, I don't want to preempt, our findings, but there are quite a number of them. We have documents concerning the finances from all the states, from all the local government, 18 local governments in the state. And we are hopeful that we will be able to, arrive at our conclusions, our findings, and present to the state governor on the next line of action. But for God's sake, let the other man from PDP know that you don't have to carry out financial excesses because you say you are operating an autonomy. Autonomy.
Well, the other part of my question, Mr. February, you've not responded to it, and that's the court ruling which I referred to.
Well,
so in the light of that court ruling,
I'm aware of an ex parte order. And in law, when you are granting ex parte order on an action that has been concluded, it becomes null and void. Even aside from that, ex parte order takes 14 days to lapse. So as we speak, it has lapsed.
Well, Mr. Odubai, over to you now. It's quite interesting. Mr. Fegbo, I'm not sure if you're a legal practitioner. I know you're a communicator, a journalist. So, Mr. Odubai, he says that that particular ex parte order is null and void. Do you agree with him?
No, Mr. Febba. Mr. Febba is a man for hire. Everybody who is conversant with the politics of industry will know that Mr. Febba can speak for anybody that has money to pay. But let me quickly address the issues.
Well, Mr. Odubai, I'd like us to temper our words and just speak to the issues and not the personalities.
Thank you very much. Let me proceed quickly. Yeah. You see, if Monday Okpebholo was interested in the financial accountability of the local government, he would have contested to be a councillor. Because that is the arm of government at the local government level that is in charge with overseeing the financial status of the local government. And if anyone is found wanting, will not carry out impeachment or query on them. But Okpebholo is a state governor. Secondly, if there's an issue of misappropriation of funds, you could either write to the EFCC or you write a petition to the local government council. Those one will kickstart the process of investigating those allegations, not Monday Okpebholo wanting to do under the cover of we are trying to pretend over government, trying to ensure that they don't waste our money, now go there to usurp powers. Secondly, he said the issue of the APC, PDP local government 100%, PDP councillors are the one removing PDP chairman. I dare to say, as I speak to you now, the local government chairman that was now the newly elected chairman, the newly appointed chairman, who was formerly a councillor of Ward 10 in Onwa East, has now gone to swear in a APC secretary, APC councillor, APC supervisory councillors, and APC members. As the APC are now entering into government through the back and they make it look as though it's the PDP. When that illegality of that mushroom arrangement was done in Onwa East, the chief of staff of Edo State government in this Monday Okpebholo's government was physically present in Afuse, where they brought soldiers, they brought military men, they brought thugs to carry out the kangaroo impeachment. And after that, they brought them to government house. Monday Okpebholo stood with the 7 councillors from Onwa East and they took a picture, reaffirming that Monday Okpebholo had been given the instruction for that illegality to have taken place. So for me, if Monday Okpebholo has shown very clearly that he lacks the capacity to provide good governance for Edo people, and having been given the opportunity to run governance for this period of time, he has now left his own office to now want to go and kidnap the soul of the local government administrative level because he simply wants to gain control, put his cronies at that level so that he can have unfettered access to the resources for Edo people. We know where it's coming from. So for me, I was even aghast because I saw some of the Okpebholo's pictures of where he went to on Wednesday, was in church, thanking God for enabling him to see the new year. And on Thursday morning, he sent talks to go and shoot at people in all the local government. And I begin to wonder, this is the same people the man has sworn by oath to protect. The man who says his duty is to secure the lives and property of the people, now mobilize talks, covered by police. Even the local government chairman, Mr. Kenneth Adodo from Mwode, said the police who came to the local government to shoot, they're policemen from government house. So Mr. Akazim can make it look as though nothing has happened. But I can tell you, you can go to Ozala, One West today. There are people, no less than 8 people there in one medical center, collecting, removing their bullets from the series of injuries that took place in Mwode. Many of them have been shot in their torso, some shot in their back, shot in their leg. They are currently removing bullets in Ozala as I speak to you now. And then they come to public domain and make it look as though it's a friendly gesture. These people are carrying out, they're usurping power at the basic level. They are strangling the people and they are trying to take power by force. I've seen many of them come to TV to say that the Akata General, the Attorney General of the Federation does not know what he's saying. Even when he described the suspension as a pursuit suspension as invalid, I cannot stand. They said the man does not know what he's saying. That Monday Okpebholo has the right to dictate to the local government how to spend their money. He has the right of
I think you are just telling lies.
And even the law
All
is
right.
cited, if not for emptiness and cluelessness. Why will Monday Okpebholo append the signature to the letter he wrote to that
just because of our time,
Section 10.
right, quite a number of things you said, but because of time, let's allow Mr. Febua respond quickly so we can make some progress. Mr. Febua, you say that he's not telling it as it is.
Thank you very much. I think Odugbaye has to caution himself in the kind of utterances and allegations that he's putting forward here. Otherwise, we'll take him up, in the law court to come and prove the veracity of some of the claims he has made on air. And I take very strong exception to the kind of words he used to describe me and telling me that I'm man for hire. Quite unfortunate. Only an empty barrel would speak on issues like that and describe me as such. I'm a full and bona fide member of the APC. I am part and parcel of the stakeholders in Edo State, and I hold it very strongly that I will have to defend actions that are within the ambits of the law of my party. And the kind of name calling that is given to Monday Okpebholo, I also take very strong exceptions. The point must be made clearly that in Edo State, we only have one government led by Senator Monday Okpebholo. And if PDP are trying to use the local government as a parallel government, to come and make the state ungovernable, they will meet their match in us, word to word, local government to local government, and every other aspect of the state covered within the geographic space called Edo State. And the point must be made clearly. The councillors that are impeaching their chairman, the suspended chairman, are members of the PDP. I state that strongly. If they now choose to decamp to APC, we are happy. When you say people were shot and you take them to tradomedical homes, it's either they were armed robbers or something else. Because if you are shot, you go to hospital, official hospital, for you to receive attention from qualified medical personnel. You are carrying people who you say are having gunshots to tradomedical home. That means there's something fishy about your own transaction. So let the point be made very clearly that this government will not be distracted by the shenanigans of the PDP and their power oligarch here in Edo State. They should know that power has changed hands.
Right.
They should also know that this mandate was gotten by popular votes from all Edo people without inhibitions. There are cases in the tribunal, which we are there as defendants, and we'll defend our mandates and govern the state for the first 4 years, and maybe another renewable one, another 4 years after the expiration of this one.
Well, so there you go. Spoken like a true politician, Mr. Febua. You already have your eyes set on the next
something
election.
Something untoward will happen. They'll be making it.
But we have to anchor at this point. But Mr. Febua, just a point to note, particularly with interim orders, according to the Federal High Court Civil Procedure Rules 2000, particularly Order 26, the duration of an interim order is not strictly defined as lasting for 14 days. Instead, it said that the court may specify the duration of the order.
I am not aware of an interim order. I'm aware of an ex parte order.
No, the particular document says interim order. So I'm giving you what the law now says about interim order. Right, just to be clear for our viewers.
Well, we're not aware of any interim order. Maybe we're not, sir. Nobody told us any interim order. We're aware of an ex parte order.
Mr. Febua, perhaps you need to check that document again. But at this point, we have to anchor. And I think that the point of this conversation is to speak about delivering governance, not just power control. Clearly, it's an ongoing conversation, gentlemen. We have to thank you so much for your time. We've been speaking with Mr. Kasim Afegbua, APC member of the Edo Local Government Administrative Panel of Inquiry, as well as Mr. Shedrack Udugbai, former SA to former Governor Godwin Obaseki. Thank you, gentlemen. I wish you a happy new year. At least we can end on that note. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Tell them to complain about 4-member assembly that is presiding over Rivers State.
Thank you very much.
PDP State.
Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Stop making all the bogus noise in Edo.
Well, this is where we anchor at this point. As you can see, the politics in Edo State and the other parts of the country is still very much on, and we will be right here to give you all of the reportage. I'm Kayode Okikelu. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.